Okay, let me go to Matt. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put the lobber as A, but I'm just gonna. I'm gonna try that. See if that actually works. I love it's like two A2s. Glutton. Then service you. You shoot. 60%. Okay. This is hard. I I hate you. You are. How unfortunate. Uh-oh, how unfortunate. I knew how much you like to fight, so a new problem to your night. You shouldn't have. Please don't, for fuck's sake. I hate you. I, you, you. Oh, shoot, the bottom counts. The bottom still counts. One way that you're not perfect, you constantly cheat and manipulate. You lie all the time. You have breaking several laws around the world. You try and like show people you love them, and then betray them, and then do the same thing over and over again. Your marriage is the second example that I would use for Stockholm syndrome, even though realistically I don't think it was Stockholm syndrome. But sort of in front of Beauty and the Beast. May I continue? Probably not. I actually probably am stuck, but you know, none of which is good. All of these things are very concerning. It's like, yeah, there's all these bad things that you do, Really? I couldn't tell. It was like, you have done. I have the money coming soon. The father. I, with schools being high, there are like, here's the thing that I say with schools being high. It's, there's certain respect that I'm like, if you have good teachers, and this is on good teachers, obviously there are bad teachers all around the world, and I'm not finding otherwise. If you have good teachers, they are worth everything. But if you have good teachers, they are worth everything. But there's like some schools who like take it extremely, and there's some schools who's like, oh, we're going to like this. There's some schools I get that for, like if you Oxford and Harvard, I'm like, I get why they are expensive. Would I want to go to either one of them? No. Even when I was young and didn't have to deal with still being autistic and dyslexic, like to go in Valentine's school.
Hello. Yeah, how are you?
Sorry guys, my door. I know sometimes there's some times where it's like you can hear the stuff in the background, but I try and. Also, I'm going to be realistic. Besides a couple of times where I think it's perfect, I'm going to be, for the highlight, I'm going to be cutting me walking like this, because unless it has, I think, something dynamic happening, or like I looking at some stuff, like if I'm reading this, like who miss Meta Universe, even if I'm not reading out loud, and if I'm exploring it, but if I'm just walking from this room to that room, I might cut it out. I don't know. Depends how I feel when I'm actually doing it. Like this room here, while I'm doing this stuff, I might. It's just
funness and oddness. Let's get into this. So yeah, there's not a lot to talk about this, because besides, I think, certain details which I like, there's not a lot of spoilers with this, so this is going to be a visual, but this is fun, and this is cool, and it's a bit of one of the older animes I watched, but because of something that I would say, I felt like watching it, so yeah. So you might notice that that section was small, and that's because the main section I want to talk about is why I like it, but it is spoilers, fully. So the more description about it is going to go with a story about how I found this. There is a sort of sound on TikTok which is, oh, which one's which? Because you have these two, and they are twins. And they play off the joke of, oh, you can't tell which one is which. And there's a sound on TikTok which actually came from the show, which is, no, you got that wrong. It's like, oh no, this and that. And it doesn't go to the actual point of the episode, which is basically, there are certain things that each one of them has that sort of, this character sort of can figure out which one's which is clever. It's absolutely clever. But it has that sort of like jokey nature to it. So that's what I think is fun, because it's that sort of like sarcastic fun. And that's what I love about the show. This is why it's good. It's got sarcastic fun. I can't say more than that. So yeah, watch this. This is fun, and like I said before, it's chaotic madness. And it's really worth it. And yes, this. Nothing more to add. Usually I don't do this, but I recorded it badly, so I don't want to stand back up and do it, so Devil's Plan Season 2 is next. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and good night.
oh
Ella Parker 22 joins the madness.
oh hi. I'm playing Cuphead. I'm doing somewhat okay. Wait. Homer pouring trash over the gate. Why am I not surprised? Can this means this will add 15 chips to anything. Yay! I have done smart. I have done big brain. Woo! Wait, if discard. I am going to take a bet. Why are you just? Because I'm trying to learn. I want to do ladies' nights, so I'm just sort of learning how each one of them works. And when I figure that out, I'll sort of like. Again, it's just more like learning and getting the muscle memory in. So I can sort of like deal with that. Okay. How unfortunate. Okay, who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Thing I found you contender in the ring. Okay. Jack-o'-lantern. Oh, probably not that bad. Probably you can hear lighting. It's like really pouring it down there. Okay, so let's do custom scenarios. No. Single player. Official scenario. Are you kidding me? Beep you. Oh, I can't hear you. Are you whispering? Take your headphones off. My headphones? Right, what's up? Look out! What? Ah! Do not listen to your music. Yeah. Gee, how would you ever... will we ever replace him? Pretty easily, actually. I'll get some new hires on your desk tomorrow. Hey, Daily, quick question. You weren't trying to warn him, were you? Yes, because that's my job. I'm his supervisor. I supervise. That is my job. Like, if I see something happen and it's about safety, about my own employees, guess what I do? That. That's so like you. Such a career. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Don't think I'm able to do that. So where's the light switch? Let's see. That how. Or it could be. Oh, good light. Also, I like what I did that. I'm like, ah, yes. Find spare batteries. Okay. Okay. Could be. Also, nice headphones. That's not important.
So I was originally recording this and doing it in 1 minute, but I'm gonna add a bit more. No spoilers, no this, and I'm just gonna go through this with no like timestamp. Don't worry about down bears, but most are gonna be short anyway. I love this. The only thing that I wanted to add is there is between this and also this is a while since it came out and I reviewed it, but between this and the other one, which is Genius game, which are the two sort of like games where it's one by one, so the one person gets taken off. This is also different to how it's done in season 1, which I also like as an idea. I prefer season 2, how they do like the prison games, and it's really fun. I also thought that might be a thing between the people above and people below, and the other game where they play head to head for something. But the idea of what they do is a lot more interesting in this than whatever I was thinking in my head because of what the intro was. Again, it's fun, it's cool, it's really interesting. I do prefer this because of the idea of the Devils game. It plays into that manipulative angle. Even if I love David Tennant, and I think he's the best thing for that game. But yeah. Going off quicker, notes. So if you want to add anything, there's a comment section. If you want to add anything about this, about what you think, this is in my Patreon. Yay. But yeah. Going back to a really long one, because I've got this. So yeah.
Six, 7, 8, 9. Straight. Whoosh. Ah, I hate this. Yeah, but God's not doing this. One was a car, one was the cat being the cat,
and one was the cat just got scared and jumped out the window. Yes, because that's true. So yeah, this is 12 minutes longer than what I was originally planning.
Okay, just added JJ. Oh, JJ. Okay, so that's what JJ does. Okay. I actually might try just going straight to Ladies' Night because I feel like that would do. So whatever happens, I might try and do that, but I'll need to read the others. I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I'm running out of power. Okay, so I'm going to keep this open. So I need to keep this below 90. Try and explain some strategies. Oh, yeah. It's a pretty good understanding of the game. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay, cool this down a bit. 3, 2, 1. 3. Okay. Single player. Custom server. Alright, let's go horror. Let's go. I will turn everyone into Flanders. Let's go Christianity. Taking products and pushing it forwards. And even though I'm a person who I always like to improve and see if I can get better and better, but I don't want to be a manager or be more higher up, I do get someone who's like, yeah, I'll just keep it at like perfect rate. But I do get why like certain companies don't like that because, well, they want to improve constantly because, well, that companies need profit. Like, I disagree with that practice. I would on like Amazon, Disney Plus, you know I love Disney, but like all of these companies for doing like optimization on human lives, I think it's immoral. But there is a certain level of like, to keep the company alive, you need to create a profit. I've been watching like something talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm talking about what episode, and it's one about like a cinema where it's like can't get bigger movies, no one comes, don't have enough money, can't buy the big budget movies, and it's like a dark spiral. Okay, take battery. Okay, they might be near the notes. So, who are you? Okay. I now know I'm going in the right way because it has a bunch of these things here. Okay, I'm going to immediately ignore that. Okay, just checking.
Dragons! So yeah, let's do this one. So this is going to be long hell. because I'm gonna do a little bit of a catch up. One. Yes, I think I have. I don't know if I reviewed a new one, but I have seen the first one, the animated one. I love how I'm calling this sort of How to Train Your Dragon 4 mentally in my head. It's like, so I have seen the first one. I know this is also How to Train Your Dragon 1. This is technically the fourth one to me. This is How to Train Your Dragon 4, but we're doing live action and it's basically the first one. Just ignore that small detail. Just ignore all of that and how you're now currently debating in your head how any of that makes sense. Yeah, good luck. But I have seen the animated How to Train Your Dragon 1, 2, and 3. I loved all of them. I've also seen some of the TV series, which I don't know is getting a thing. I don't think you need it. It is a good series. And the first 3 movies, even though it's really interesting that in the second one, I'm not going to say what. It doesn't really take much to the story, so I am going to say it. The second one kind of, if you see the TV series, he has a different dragon in that than he does in How to Train Your Dragon 2. I just find that funny. I don't know if that means he has 2 dragons, because if that's the case, where did the second one go in the third movie? Or they just didn't communicate that, which I think is a more realistic answer, which is the TV series takes the first movie and that's really about it. So if you watch like the TV series, all you need to do I think is watch the movie, because I don't think they reference anything in the second movie, and I don't think the second movie references the TV show. So you don't need to watch it for the, and if you just want to watch the films, the first 3 movies I think are connected, and I don't think the TV show is. If you want to watch the TV show, watch it after the first one, but do be acknowledged that I don't think canonically it takes place during the other 2. Besides the point, this is not me talking about the animated one. I will come across that because I didn't think I reviewed it, and so I rewatched it so I can review it. You know, I did it in a very weird way because it's like there's 4 more extra reviews, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then animated. Anyway, that's me watching it. I think I watched it roughly when it came out originally. Besides the third one, which I waited a bit, and then I think I watched it when I bought the... I don't know if I got the DVD of that one. But anyway, I watched it not in cinemas, where I think the first 2, I think. No, I think all of them I watched out in cinemas. But I watched it roughly when it originally came out, and I loved it. So when someone was like, oh, by the way, they're doing a live action remake of it, especially when Troy and Goofy was talking about it, and positively, I was like, but the Disney stuff, and it's like, yeah, the Disney live action stuff is shit. Sorry, bad cough. Sorry, trying to say that slowly. But yeah, kind of. That's a bad joke. Anyway, it's not great. It's not. It's bad. And quite bad. So yeah. But I do acknowledge that. So when people were talking about this, I was hesitant, and when people started talking positively, because live action always seen as negative, the only 2 live action ones that I've seen is that I sort of like is the original Alice in Wonderland, because I like the weirdness of Alice in Wonderland, so I can deal with all like the dark broodiness of it, if it's sort of like that weird oddness to it. I know there's better versions of Alice in Wonderland in any form. Especially Alice in Borderlands, which I think is amazing, but that's, again, besides the point. You can see why the rating is a problem for me. Anyway. The other one I like is Maleficent, which I think I've said before on this style review, but I have said before, but I do love it. I do think it's cool, I do think it's amazing, and it's one of the things that I think is so cool to watch. But So yeah, this. Like I said before, there was a reason why I was hesitant. But when I watched it, especially during the flight scenes, absolutely amazing. Don't point with spoilers, but that is so cool. And the changes I do have, which is important, but I wanted to say spoilers because several stories are sort of the same. A lot of people saying this is 1-to-1 to the to the animated one. Yes. Besides, Asterix is a person of color. That's a thing. Do I think it's bad? No. It's awesome. It's one of, like, there's certain things where, like, you change certain things and, like, okay, that's different. There's some, like, the way they set it up with, like, we have come here to kill the dragons. I don't know how the second one will go. That will be fun. If they do the second one, I am going to legitimately say the second one is kind of my favourite out of the trilogy. Kind of. At the animated one. I don't know. But I'll get to that when we get to that. Or we won't. I don't know if they make a second or third one. I feel like I would love it. I would actually go and see this fully. But how they use, like, oh, we're going to come together. The other thing I like, which later on in the movie, both animated and live action, they have a scene of his toothless and we're going into the thing. But this one, which is unlike the last one, which is, again, why I watched it, because I wanted to double check it, the scene where they go in beforehand and the ships get wrecked, which is before, like, he comes back and is like, you're going to learn how to train with dragons. That scene doesn't exist. So it's like, oh, why are they so dangerous? Proof. They show them, like, destroying the boats. I do find this fun, but I do get why people are like, oh, it's a similar thing. Because when I watched the animated one, it's like, yeah, it's the same. And if you put me both in front of me, I'm not going to lie. I am going to take the animated one. Sue me. But I am going to say, this is one of the live action remakes that I look at it and I see art. I see this as awesome. And yeah, go and watch it. It is cool. So yeah, there's nothing more to add because, again, I have been talking about this for a while, and besides having a connection between, I forgot the character's name, the character who's interested in Astrid, but no, it's not Fish Legs. That's the only one I remember, which is Astrid, Fish Legs, Snotlout. That's it. Snotlout has a more connection with his father, which they didn't. But I would also like to point out, they have this connection more in the TV series. So I don't know if they sort of took cues from that and then put it into this. Which makes sense, because Snotlout is more. There's a lot of character development. There's a lot of character development debatably for all of them, fully. Because it's a TV show, you can do a bit more. With what you're kind of seen as doing a bit more. I would also like to point out, the animation isn't as good, but isn't bad in the TV series. I'm honestly talking about the TV series, like, you know what it is. But it's not bad, it's just not as good compared to the animated. So yeah. Some more information. My liked. But information, go watch this. It is 100% worth it. And yeah, the Doctor Who, this is just special one because the free special I treated as different things, so I'm treating the behind the scenes as different things. Also, I might do the same thing for Disney's Plus TV series, which also has behind the scenes segments, which I might check into. I don't know. Put a question mark on that. But yeah, this is next, which is probably going to be 1 minute because I don't have much to say about it. So yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like this video. This long video, sorry for me doing that, but I like How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, good night.
Again, you look so different. 4, 5. Move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $32. Yes. Let's go to town. Okay. I'm just gonna pause this real quick while I figure out what's actually going on with this, because I feel like I need to fix this. Okay, stop. Confirm. Stop it. Oh, I find that interesting. What the B? That is so dark. Where it's like, oh, that's charity because he felt like he had worth. What the? This is just so insane. Okay, is it? Okay, why does that not work? Keep cam on 2 so baby doesn't kill you. As soon as you load in the night, go through the place. You're going to place the air duct lure on the left. At 15 seconds interval, you're going to use the global mute. At 15-second intervals, try to use global music box. Turn on power generator before camera flips. Before camera flips, close the top vent. Okay. Cam 2. Low on the... Oh, wrong one. Hi. And you might notice something fun and the light. Otherwise, what this light isn't on. But I recently got this. It came a while ago. Like I think around about like Friday. But it came sort of like I think after that stream, or maybe Saturday. But I keep doing this because sometimes I'm dumb. But yeah, I have this, and look, it's by Nick Obi, which I watch a lot of, and it's so fun to squeeze, and it's so cool. But yeah, let's continue. I'm gonna move this, but I made a sort of like sign up of a couple of DVDs in the dice box, which does have all the dice button. Gaming. Oh, I am here, and now that I'm just setting some stuff up, I'm just gonna I'm doing this more and more. I've got another because I've actually started the other Lego one because I wanted to do the puzzle with Mum because she likes like jigsaw puzzles, and I thought that would be fun to do together. But the other one that I got as a present for my birthday, and there's going to be a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of this next week, and again, this is going to come out very late, and it'll be very funny. But here we have Mickey. And it's got a couple different Disney movies on there, and it's really fun. So yeah, that's gonna happen. So yeah. Riley could please don't kill Riley. Not Riley. Not Riley. Riley's good. Riley's the must protect character of this game, and I will protect her. I will jump in front of the crates. Riley's like it's not a person who I'm like, oh yes, Riley. It's more like, oh Riley. No, Riley. Riley. This is a bad analogy. But like Riley for me right now is like the it's like if you have like a dog who like it's fine, like does like all does all right, but then accidentally like when he hears like an odd sound, it's like she's like so also why am I going he she she's so amazing and like please don't kill Riley. I feel the side. No, I don't want to see what's in that. I really don't. I feel like. Okay, just this. I'm leaving. Okay, okay. Nice message. Just really useful for me to just run, and I'm trapped behind the sofa. This is definitely not terrifying in the slightest.
So yeah, the Doctor Who special. This is cool. I like this sort of stuff because it shows how they created it. It is fun and it is really interesting. That's really it because it's fun, it's cool, it's interesting. Yeah. I added these in because I wanted to watch these and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put them in like this. But yeah, there's nothing really much to talk about. It's fun, it's cool, and it's awesome. Go watch it. Update on this is what my Patreon said about this as well. But yeah. And next, a fun one with a bit of darkness. Well, more than a bit, a lot of darkness. But yeah, I'm having a trend of this, going from very long to very short, to very long to very short, to very long to very short, to very. But yeah.
I'd like to point out, most of the time, I usually give to Homer for being, like, absolutely horrible. But that was not his control. Because someone put you in a wrong camp and didn't allow me to leave. Even though there should be a roster saying that he was not part of the camp. So it wasn't anything to do with, my control. Again, he was sort of like forced to be in a specific place. And he could not leave, even though he says like, oh, I've got somewhere else to be. And they're like, oh, of course you do. Add a red seal. Okay. Destroy 5. Oh, okay.
Okay, I need to add. Destroy one card in your hand and add 2 enhanced aces. Destroy one card in your hand and add 2 enhanced aces. Oh, I don't get to choose! And I destroyed a queen. Bum, bum. Now I need 3. And he can kill me in 2, so most likely I need to steal one of a knife. Now back to 2. I feel like because he's not doing that, he's not getting a lot of good information. Nope, the next one's live, I'm assuming. Nope, that's blank. Nope, that was live. So there's 3 blanks. So I'm gonna take a bet. Okay. And just to make sure, just in case this doesn't fail, I am gonna take one of his, because that means he can't take me down in 2 shots, because he will keep... How unfortunate. I know. Oh, shoot. Close that. Service to you. What would be useful? I think soundproof for 10 coins. Wait, no, wait, 10 coins. Close that. I'm gonna quickly... Whoa! Oh, okay. Okay. Place a lure. Okay, think that will be the next one. Oh, shoot. Easy. This is easy. Okay, so... Okay, good. Stay there. Stay there. Stay back there. Stay. Look here. Look here. Look here. Look here. Boom, boom, boom. Look back here. Look 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 here. Regenerate. Look back here. Look here. Look back here. Get one more. Get here. Get this. Click there. Put power generator on. I have now done. No def. Oh. I did that before reading. Sorry. I will redo this again. Da 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 da. Okay. Okay, this. Okay, yeah, it's simple mechanics. I don't think night 1 makes a difference. I don't think anyone comes during the first night. Shut up. I kind of get the thing. Settled in for your first night. Okay, I don't think it matters. I know there's a meta. I think it's check here, check B2, and switch between the two. Then it's there. Think that's... Yeah, I was about to be like, if you constantly are like, I think you should do the... I like the idea where it's like, if you constantly like, oh, you have to do this, yeah, and it's like failing.
It's like a great idea. Oh, this is actually a nice area. You feel better now? Did you change my heart? All along with me, surrounded by all this beautiful. You ask? You didn't seem too happy with your setup last night. I got rid of everything that wasn't important. Now, try and focus on the moment. You breathe in. Yeah, that's fair. Like, I don't need this. If I wanted to look outside, just look outside the smell. It's nostalgic, which is odd. You've never lived anywhere with a lawn. Yeah, but like, I've never lived in a farm, but if I see a farm, I'd be like, yeah, there's nostalgia, because he's probably seen like so many in like books. What? So why did you think it was nostalgia? What's up? Allergies? Where are we? Go figuring. Everything looks fine. There's no weird graphic. This was... Hello, Henry. So we meet. I'm happy about it. I know you have questions. Like how this is possible? Well, you can see I made this special device that you can get here as soon as possible, but how you end up here is a different version of the game, in which oh, that's a long story. Anyway, it's good to see you. Okay, go to the kitchen, okay? Okay, we're going to the kitchen! Yay!
Come make a deal with me? No? No. Oh, okay. I'm good. Bye. So yeah, the consultant. I think it's interesting. The one thing I like is that it seems that there's a sort of like demonic evil, but you could also read it as sort of just greed in a way. Like, I fully believe that this is a sort of demonic nature to it. There is a sort of evil demon to it, in a way. Does that do anything? No. You can also just take this as this sort of person who is corrupt and manipulating people. And I fully buy by that. Maybe it's because I'm like, demons, and that's too obvious, and you could not. You can also take it as sort of like a more like manipulative force. I don't know. I just like that idea. I do find it fun though, of like trying to be like, okay, what's going on? What is actually happening? And I find that interesting and fun. The one thing which I would say is, and this is a bit of a thing, there's a lot of shows that I watch that by Netflix and sort of like some shows, but I'm like, okay, I've seen the trailers. Disney Plus is a big thing where I watch it and do extensive things. And then some shows, definitely by like Crunchyroll or like Prime, even Crunchyroll, I watch a lot of different types of anime. I'm usually fine with like, this is good. But usually stuff like this, I watch. And I'm like, I don't know what some of the stuff is. I don't know some of the other stuff. And some of this is just me looking at this and saying, this looks cool as shit. I'm watching it. And I saw like the consultant and someone talking about it, so I watched it. This is no spoilers, but because of that, I did not know about the demon stuff, and I don't know if this is in the spoilers. Hence why I added this section, which is not spoilers, in spoiler section, which is that it's like, oh, you see this person and he dies, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, what the? And it's insane. It's the one guy. It's like, yeah, he's a genius. We got it, and all you hear is bang. What the? And like, it's like, okay, what's happening here? Because I hear consultant and I see this. I thought it was going to be like a Sherlock Holmes style thing. I'm like, so I'm the consultant and I am going to debate about what actually happened about this murder. I thought it was going to be like a sort of like murder thing where a person consults, like, again, like Sherlock. It's not. What was that? Double line? No, I'm just going. It's like consultant. It's not that. It's fully not that. What it is a show where a bunch of people, the original owner dies, and a person, this person here, consults what they do afterwards. By like developing a game about bridges, the incident with the elephant, and then sort of like figuring out what to do. And it's like some of the things about like the smelling of the employees, where everyone's moved. And I think it's like if people don't come into office in the next hour, if you're remote, you'll be fired. And it's so effed up. I don't know why he did any of this, to be fair. Because all of it kind of is manipulative in a weird way. I don't know. It's fun, it's chaotic. I would still recommend to watch it. So yeah, like I said, I would recommend to say it. And I keep saying at the end of spoilers, I still recommend spoilers, even though I have the conclusion section, which is meant for this part. But I do have one thing. I think, even though technically speaking, the sort of like mystery of folk children thrown out the window. We don't have it. We have season 1. We already know what's going on, right? I think it'll be fun having a season 2 of this. I don't think there is going to be a season 2. That's not the point. I just think there should be, because at the end of sort of season 1 of the end of the consultant, you get this company, the CEO, passed away. That's interesting. It's happened again. And you can take the people from that business of like robotics engineering and look into them having this sort of thing again. 2 other people questioning it, but then the audience would know what's going on. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but I just wanted to add it. So yeah, this, no updates, but this, if you want to add to this, is in my Patreon. So yeah. And next is the other season of Undone, which I have mixed feelings, but I'll get to that when I get to that. But I hope you enjoy, and good night.
I would like to point out, you can't be neither of the things that Lisa just said and be afraid of needles. I don't like needles. Legitimately. Find them terrifying. The sort of like weird feeling and sensation. I don't know what it is. And it's like, like babies and junkies. And I'm like, nope. No, I'm fully terrified of them. And I am neither. Because they are terrifying. Going slowly into my arm.
Wow, Frank Grimes showing up. That's weird. That's Reese Gilbert. She's. Oh, that's great. Jesus. It's like, yeah, I'm not a person who disses if someone wants a family life. But the fact that, like, this both says, like, oh, like, people need to, like, respect, like, family life while also being like, being like, oh yeah, you should do this. Yeah, being like, oh no, you have to have a job. You have to have this. If people want to just be a house person and like want to just have kids and look after kids, that's valid. If you want a job and look after kids, also valid. If you don't want kids, also valid. All of these are valid options as a female. Saying people can be whatever they want. Waterfall. Okay. I'm in the kid's bedroom. Then turn. There off. Ah. You don't have to switch the camera for the power generator box. Fortunate. Uh-oh, Howard. Okay. Okay, what's that sound? What was that sound? What the fuck was that sound? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? Am I going crazy? That was a melody like... Okay, I'm not going crazy. There is some stuff. I don't think that means anything because nothing happens during night one. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt people being like, I'll allow you to impersonate me in anywhere near like, oh yeah, I'll allow you to just pretend to be me and for like, were right about me. Now I just have to work at Band with the Families. Oh, that sounds cozy. Runs to the EL City Finance Group. My grandma probably makes up the BP energy, huh? Oh, she's not dead. It didn't strike me as odd when I saw her accounts were connected to the trust fund. Well, can't win it all. Well, just have to make up slack. Manny, good question. Oh, she's not dead! She's not dead! Okay, that's actually a fun image. However, make it not a money. Humming? Don't know the words, mediaizing, but something about the tune speaks to me. That's not not an option. Because I think that would ruin sort of the immersion. Oh, scissors. Of course I'm gonna check. Okay. Okay. You show me something, and if she asked me about like, oh, why that setup, safety. Like, you could fall on that. There's a tripping hazard. Like, I was only concerned for safety. Oh. Sit down. Okay.
So this is going to be a bit of a thing. So I'm not going to talk about much about this segment because a lot of what I want to talk about overall, and the reason why this is big, is the spoiler section. Which fair, but for the quick overview, my opinions are mixed in general. So it's mixed, it's complicated. I've got a bunch of spoiler stuff. Let's go to that. So, yeah, my opinions on this is, like I said, mixed at best. I'm going to be honest and just say that with this, I'm not a fan of how they do this. Because throughout most of it, I was fine. So I sort of go with the opinion that I just ignore the last bit. But one, as they slowly do more, the thing that I liked about season 1 was the story of, is this real or is this in her head? Is the magic of the time and this real or in her head? And I'm fine with that. Questioning it and actually having it be like, maybe it is real, maybe it isn't crazy, is a fun idea. It really looks at an interesting way, because in season 1, you could make the argument that it's all in her head and it's fully valid. You could still make it a season 2 death, but I pretend a certain segment does not exist and I just close my eyes and pretend it's not real. But yeah, season 1 had that and I loved it. But how it ended kind of had it, if it had a season 2, it had to either answer that question, in my opinion, or sort of not answering it. But I think the way that they didn't answer it in this way, I did not like. Because the way that I was thinking that it would have done it is it having a sort of thing and it sort of like seeing her and it became in conflict. But obviously at a certain point you need to sort of go either one way or the other. Obviously. And the way that this did it for the first season is something's different. We're going to somewhere new. Someone's alive, someone's this, you've got these memories, you've got all of these things of a new timeline. Okay, the magic is real, he was correct. You see this, you see that. You have all of these experiences. Wait, there's a brother. That's interesting. That's a fun character. Going back, doing this, looking about, bringing them in, looking about, talking about certain things. Wait, the sister, she's got something not the sister, no, it is the sister. The sister, she's got something unusual. Is she? Wait, she does. It's a whole thing. We're including her now. That's interesting. Obviously, we have the boyfriend is gone and not important, but I'm fine with that. Because even if you do take the ending and I just pretend doesn't exist, but I do need to acknowledge it does exist, He's not really in the series. I think he's kind of in a couple of scenes and then in the ending bit. And it's like, that's interesting. You bring in different paths. So their father's mother. And you bring in those in. And it's really fun. And it has conflict, interest. It's really interesting of like, he doesn't want to change things and it's fun and dynamic. And then the whole season was just apparently maybe a dream sequence. Or not. Or another timeline. Yeah. This is not what I liked. Because I'm a person who I like theorizing myself. And the one thing I think a lot of people can tell is if the whole thing, and yes, I know, I had an anime about a Gundam child that I said was in the head, but I actually had evidence for that. Because she woke up in real life. And even then, I claimed I didn't like it. I didn't claim it was a good thing. I liked the series because all the other stuff was amazing and that was just a cliff note. It was like 5 minutes at the end of the episode and it was very questionable about what it actually meant in the bigger picture. It could mean something completely different. But in this, it's here's a portal that goes out to the other timeline. We're going to go to that other timeline and I'm going to go back. So either timelines are real and she can jump between them. If that's the case, why not just be like, hey, come into this one. This one's better. Because if, again, most of the series, I like the characters. They were cool. They were interesting. And then, who cares? It probably isn't real and not important and doesn't affect anything if there's a season 3. Bye! It's essentially everything's a dream theory. So yeah. I know I'm getting heated over something that's not really important, and I fully acknowledge that. But it's just a dream theory type ending of like nothing matters. There's what essentially happens, and there's another game which I am thinking, which is it's like the D-Mail. I forgot the actual name of it, where like he sort of like goes back, and you have the first game that sort of deals with it and ends it, and you have the second game which essentially takes place in between just after a certain point and just after the ending. So overall, you can play the first game and it doesn't matter. And the reason why I don't mind that is because it kind of implies that the characters still exist in a sort of way. So they do have some sort of impact, but it's not as much, and it's kind of weird. But I like it because I like the D-Mail system and it's a video game. And also it was kind of hinted at in the first game that like timelines, and that deals with time travel, which is a lot more interesting and fairer to deal with like absolute bit stuff. I still kind of find that a bit interesting, but it's like, oh, essentially like you could play the first game and the second game is just fun filler. Some choices are really interesting because of character choices, but overall the first game kind of shows the ending already. The choices were already made. It's more talk about how it went to that end, which is fair. But with this, is essentially you could watch season 1, go to the end of season 2 just as she's about to go back to her original timeline, and then be like, oh look, it's fine, and you would not miss anything in season 2 because technically none of this matters. I'm sorry, but if you build all of these characters up, all of these things, for instance, is there a huge thing about anything to do, any of her Roma in season 2 correct about her sister in this one? Who knows? Do they have a secret half brother? Probably, maybe not. I don't know. Is any of the thing about the conflict between the father and his mother anywhere near correct or relevant? Probably not. Or you can say the same with the others, but that was still persuading. Maybe it's not real. The whole thing was debating if it was real. That was a debate. Is it real or is it fake? Are we doing this magic or is this all fake? And that was the drama. Is it real or fake? This is the whole subplot is fake, who cares? So yeah, I know that's a bit of a downer, but it's just dream theory. And I don't like it. It's souring every single time I do to think about it. But yeah, let's move on. Yeah. Here's the Patreon. And the one thing I'm going to quickly add is, even though I'm saying it with this, if there's any comments, either in TikTok or this, I will just keep an eye on it. So yeah. For something I don't have sour taste, to something I think is one of the best, and I will stand by it, best DC character, period. Wait, where's the book? I can hold it up. I actually got this from TikTok. There was a channel that was like comic books that you would recommend, and someone recommended me this. I would also like to point out, it's a bit weird. It's a bit worn out. But that's the point. We're going to talk about this. Yay. But that's tomorrow, not today. So yeah. I hope you enjoy this video. Even though I was the most happy down about, I'll probably be sorry about that. But I hope you enjoy, and good night.
I'd like to point out, I hate the idea that, like, certain shows treat patriotic as things like, you have to be, like, a certain, like, oh, you have to care. Like, he just showed his butt to an American flag, which, yes, I understand why that is disrespectful. It's the same thing with, like, the UK, and it's like, that is one thing that you could say is disrespectful. But the idea that it's like, oh, if you, like, disrespect anything about your country unpatriotic, one, you. Two, I could just say so much about the UK and fully think it's stupid. And it's free. It's one of those things where it's like, and then it's just so stupid.
Okay, I'm gonna do this because I just love it. I am Iron Man. Da, 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 Iron Man. This is fun. I like this card. Does nothing. I don't like you. I'm done. I'm done! Yes. No, because this is sloth. Thank you. Give me my money. The first couple of minutes will just be me playing a sloth and then just, you know, getting money and then winning. And what do you mean? Okay. Oh, 45 shells. 2 doors kicked in.
I can do anything because no one's usually coming out during night one. So yeah. Let's do roll. I'm going to roll something, and if you're in the stream, comment. If you're not on the stream and then watching this on YouTube later or in one of the clips that I can do, predict what this number's going to be. Go ahead. Alright. That beep. Okay. I'm going to put that on hold. That, I think, changed. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, someone has moved. Bonnie. Bonnie. Also, 11, 19, 1, 4, and 20. So I got a nat 1 and a 20. Okay. Wow. Test, test. I think it should work now. Yeah, I've been watching Ironheart, that's all I've said. So yeah. Didn't change that much. Also, an oopsie on this. Okay. Okay. Then it should work because there's no sound until usually this bit. But yeah. Yep. Continue. Yeah. Okay. Hey, I thought you were being honest. This is what. Okay, the bathroom was here. Yeah, I figured as much. So for some reason the bedroom's gone. Okay, what's this room here? Oh, did the bedroom move place? Because it was right next to the bathroom. Okay. Simpler idea. Okay. Oh, also, I think the room was made bigger because this definitely feels bigger to what the room was. But I think that's because 2 people, maybe? Also, I don't know if this implies that she's in a school. I don't know. Or, probably, it could have.
This! I'm going to do this! This is cool! This is amazing! Let's do this! Sorry. So yeah, I like this. This is so amazing. So, the one thing, which I don't know how long this will be, it probably won't be as long as yesterday's, but probably will be at least a bit, is I used to follow a TikTok who was like, oh, you didn't know these are like comics books that I would recommend. I don't remember them, but because of it, one of the books that they recommend was Harleen by, I'm not going to pronounce it because I'm going to mispronounce it. Because this is a little bit different to what you have in nowadays, which is basically, rather than the Joker fully in the current version, including like the Harley Quinn animated series or the Injustice, it was she had a little bit of odd tendencies when she was younger and had this sort of thing. This has a more, in a way, how I think it was originally, which was that she was not as crazy as more modern depictions. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, but the reason why I like that is the way that this depicts it is a slow descent into madness. because obviously you can kind of tell certain things, but I'm going to give that a, but you can get why. But the one thing that I am going to say first is I don't say this too much, but because it's this, I love the way that certain things are panelled in certain ways. And I also like how the art is also done, which I also think is a really good idea. How certain things are like drawn and wherever things are put, I think is fun and super creative. It's super fun in that way. But the one thing which I like about this book is, yes, the main focus, surprisingly or not, is about Harleen Quinzel and her communicating with the Joker and turning into Harley Quinn, which is an interesting story about slowly trusting someone. Because, again, this is on the back and I always forget this is here, but it's true. Behind the painted smile, which I think is a good way to describe this book. The Joker is putting on this thing to trick her. Which, legitimately, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's because of da-da-da. He is a psychopath. He does not care. And it's really interesting about Surrender into Chaos, but the one thing I also like, and it says it, I think, there's a specific point that I like that has a specific interaction with two characters. No, it's not. It's way before that. It's at a certain point. And yeah, I'm trying to find it because I do sort of like it. It's Harley Quinzel meets with Harvey Dent, and the one thing I like is this sort of one blood, which is sort of, because this is sort of written retrospectively, sort of written as the story moves forward, but there's some points where like it's on looking back on it, including this line, which is it's kind of funny, all of our big words and moralization, and yet within 5 months we would both become murderers, because Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face and Harleen Quinzel becomes Harley Quinn, which this deals with both of them, how they both fall into these bad temptations, which I think is clever, putting a power down. Because Harleen Quinzel is about being open and trying to listen to people, but Harvey Dent is a person who's about putting the law to the letter. And Harley Quinzel falls into sort of being a murderer through trying to empathize with, the Joker, who's, again, a psychopath. Supposedly. I'm not a psychologist, don't take my word as law, but most depictions put it that way. Harvey Dent goes down because he's too strict on the law. And it's really interesting because of that. Two people falling to darkness. So yeah. Because of all this, I don't have much to say. Read it, it's really fun. Obviously, I've got the more hardcover book, but it is really fun and really worth it. So yeah, again, this, nothing more to add. If you want to add stuff to it, there you go. So yeah, a while ago, I think 4 whole reviews ago, I mentioned that I rewatched, because I didn't originally reviewed How to Train Your Dragon. So then, after I watched the live action one, I watched the animated one again. We're gonna do that. Let's go there. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch that. Not watch it, I'm gonna review that. So yeah. I hope you enjoy and good night. Sorry, I didn't add this and I want you to add it now.